Hello boys, welcome back to another session of video tutorials, and this session is meant for class 12th biology students, and this is for 27th Jan 2021. As we are into the revision mode, we are revising for the round number 3 in the form of test paper 2, and in this session we are going to solve this test paper 2 and discuss some of the important points and concepts of chapter number 10, microbes in human welfare. And as I've been telling you that this chapter is very important not only for the sake of CBSE board exams, it is very important for your UPSC NDA. Lot many questions come from this chapter, as the NEET exam also many questions come from this chapter. Hence this is all the more important, and it is also very important not just for the sake of CBSE board exam, UPSC NDA, NEET exam. In general, in our life, this chapter gives lot of knowledge about various diseases, various microbes, and how to avoid these dangerous microbes and how to utilize the useful microbes that are available to us. Hence, it is very important. Here we go. Question 1. Rotenone is A. An insect hormone, a bioherbicide. C. A natural herbicide. D. A natural insecticide. I think this is the one, natural insecticide. Question 2. Typhoid fever could be confirmed by ECG, that is electrocardiogram, heart related. ELISA, Weidel test, yes, Weidel test, and Western blot. So answer should be C. Which one of the following is not used in organic farming? Snail, oscillatory of course used, earthworm is used, glomus is used, so left out is snail because it is not used. Select, question number 4, select the cytokine barrier. So leukocytes, that is WBC, saliva, skin, it has to be interferons. Question 5, which one is the correct sequence of steps involved in sewage treatment? 1. Filtration. 2. Biological treatment. 3. Sedimentation. 4th. Chlorination. I think it has to be 1, 3 because after filtration, sedimentation, then biological, last chlorination, so it has to be C. Then the bacteria that helps in fermentation of Swiss cheese is Lactobacillus, Cyclosporin, yeast, penicillin. I think Lactobacillus, useful bacteria. Question number 7. Remember that bioreactor is a culture containing radioactive isotopes. B. Energy generator. C. Fermentation tank, yes. And D. Hybridoma. Question 8. Name the biocontrol agents that get rid of aphids and mosquitoes. Biocontrol agents, not the chemical ones that we use. Okay. Question 9. Name the physical processes employed in the primary treatment of sewage. Question 10. Which of the following is a cyanobacterium that can fix atmospheric nitrogen? Azospirillum, oscillatoria, and spirulina is a cyanobacterium that can fix, yes. Okay. Next, question 11. What is sewage? In which way can sewage be harmful to us? Question 12. Name the organism that causes large holes in Swiss cheese. How are these holes caused? Question 13. What is the key difference between primary and secondary sewage treatment? Question 14. That is a case study type. 3 water samples, namely river water, untreated sewage water, secondary effluent discharged from a sewage treatment plant, were subject to BOD test. What is that BOD test? Biological oxygen demand. The samples were labeled A, B, and C. but the laboratory attendant did not note which was what or which was which. The BOD values of these samples A, B, C were recorded as 20 milligrams per liter, 8 mg liter, 400 mg milligrams per liter respectively. Which sample of the water is most polluted? Can you assign the correct label to each, assuming the river water is relatively clean? Relatively clean. Okay, very good question. Nice. Question 15. How are biofertilizers different from fertilizers such as NPK that we buy in the market? Justify the role of rhizobium as a biofertilizer. Remember what I have been telling in the videos? All those children who are sons of farmers, I have requested you to talk to your daddy about these biofertilizers and start using biofertilizers in your own field before we advise for others. Now, take a paper, start writing the answers, take 40-45 minutes and come back to this session, answer session. Compare your answers with the answers that I have given and you will come to know what is your strength and where is your weakness. Build on your strength and convert your weakness into strength. That's how you will become perfect. Question 1, D. A natural insecticide. Rotenine is a naturally occurring chemical with insecticidal properties obtained from the roots of several tropical and subtropical plant species. So it's a natural insecticide. Insecticide is a substance that kills insects that damage the crops. Question 2C, Weidel test. Weidel test is a milestone invention in medicine. This test was devised by Frank Weidel in 1896. Weidel test is mostly used diagnostic test for typhoid fever in developing countries. The Weidel test has been in use for more than a century as an aid in diagnosis of typhoid fever. It measures agglutinating antibody levels, clotting antibody levels against O and H antigens. Question 3. A. Snail. In organic farming, snails are not used. Glomus is king of fungi. Look at that. Glomus is the kind of fungi used in organic farming for maintaining fertility of the soil. So it is the king of the soil. Earthworm, of course, as we have been using earthworm, the process of composting to form vermiform compost. And of course, Oscillatoria is an algae that fixes the nitrogen. So Oscillatoria is the best one. Question 4D, as expected, it should be interferon. To communicate, immune cells use cytokines, which are a group of proteins secreted by cells of immune system that act as chemical messengers. Cytokines released from one cell affect the actions of other cells by binding to receptors on their surface. You can think of these receptors as mailboxes. They receive the cytokine's chemical message and then the receiving cell performs activities based on the messages received. There are different types of cytokinins, including chemokines, interferons, interleukins, lymphokines, and tumor necrosis factors. They can act alone, work together, or work against each other. But ultimately, the role of cytokines is to help regulate the immune response. That's how they are great. Question 5, of course, it has to be step C, 1, 3, 2, 4. Steps involved in sewage treatment are filtration, sedimentation, biological treatment, and last chlorination. First two steps are called primary treatment of sewage and last two steps are called secondary treatment of sewage. And question 60A, yeast. The propionobacterium takes in the lactic acid that has been excreted by other bacteria. Acetate, propionic acid, and carbon dioxide gas are released. The carbon dioxide creates the bubbles that shape the holes in the cheese. The acetate and the propionic acid give the flavor to Swiss cheese. Next, Question 7c. Fermentation tank. Bioreactor is a fermentation tank in which fermentation is carried out regularly. This tank is fitted with instruments that control the optimal temperature and pressure required for fermentation. Next, question 8. The ladybird. I have given the pictures also, photos of this. Dragonflies are useful to get rid of aphids and mosquitoes. Question 9. Sewage treatment is the process of removing contaminants from wastewater, primarily from household sewage. It includes physical, chemical, and of course biological processes to remove these contaminants and produce environmentally safer treated wastewater. Physical processes employed in the primary treatment of sewage are filtration and sedimentation. Question 10. Oscillatoria. Question 11. The municipal wastewater with a large amount of human excreta and other organic waste is called sewage. Harmful effect. It contains a number of pathogens which cause many waterborne diseases. It may cause depletion of dissolved oxygen in the water body. Next, question number 12. Propionobacterium shermani is responsible for the ripening of Swiss cheese and the production of its characteristic taste and large gas bubbles. Next, the eye formation are due to CO2 bubbles that create the holes in the cheese. Contribute greatly to the taste and aroma, nice smell of these types of cheeses. Question 13. Primary sewage treatment and secondary sewage treatment. It is physical method of treatment, primary one. Secondary one is biological method. It involves in removal of large particles and floating materials such as leaves, papers, rags, solids such as sand, grit, and oily substances. It involves the removal of fine suspended and dissolved organic matter. It makes the use of sedimentation. It makes the use of aerobic or anaerobic biological units. It's a relatively simple and less time consuming process. It's relatively complex and takes a long time for completion. Question 14. BOD, biochemical oxygen demand, is the method of determining the amount of oxygen required by microbes to decompose the waste present in the water supply. If the quantity of organic waste in the water supply is high, then the number of decomposing bacteria present in the water will also be high. As a result, the BOD value will increase. Therefore, it can be concluded that if the water supply is more polluted, then it will have higher BOD value. Out of the above three samples, sample C is the most polluted since it has maximum BOD value of 400 milligrams per liter. After untreated sewage water, secondary effluent discharge from the sewage treatment plant is most polluted. Thus, sample A is secondary effluent discharge from a sewage treatment plant and has the BOD value of 20, while sample B is river water and has the BOD value of 8. So this is how we come to a conclusion. What is the conclusion? The correct labeling is label A 20 mg per liter secondary effluent discharge from a sewage treatment plant. B 8 mg because relatively clean water is said, river water. And C, of course, untreated sewage water, it has to be 400 mg. Next, biofertilizers. These are the organisms that enrich the nutrient quality of the soil. They provide almost all the nutrients but slowly. But fertilizers, they are synthetic chemicals add to soil to supply specific nutrients. They supply only the specific nutrient but immediately after application. Rhizobium lives in the root nodules of leguminous plants and fixes the atmospheric nitrogen into those forms of nitrogen compounds. As I said, NO2 minus, NO3 minus, nitrogen compounds. nitrate and nitrites that can be utilized by the plants, and the soil becomes rich. So this is how the compared to fertilizers, biofertilizers are far better. So it is better always that we, being farmers and biology students, start using this biofertilizers. So the purpose of education is not just to write the exams and get good marks. Whatever we are learning in the classroom